Hey everyone, I'm excited to test out a new primer by Origins. It's their Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer with Willowherb. And this is a mousse primer, and I'm not only excited to try this, but also I wanted to do a video and show you guys the makeup I've been wearing lately, because every time I film, everyone's like, well, what kind of makeup is that? What foundation is that? So I kind of want to show you basically what I've been doing day to day and let you guys see how I'm just throwing it on my face. And we get to test out this cooling primer. So let's get to this one. So this one actually is a mousse. It cools on contact, which so far I'm really excited about for post-gym activity. It also hydrates your skin. It's supposed to minimize pores. It does a lot of amazing things, but one thing it tells you to do is shake it. And then put a little bit on my fingers. So it is a very nice mousse texture. It definitely is cooling. It has little air bubbles all over it. And I'm excited to put this on my face. Ooh, yeah, that's cool. The scent isn't bad. It's a very light scent. The Original Skin line has a typical scent to it, and that's exactly what I'm smelling now, that Willowherb. It's a very, very light fragrance. The tint is actually really nice. It kind of just blends evenly with my skin. It did reduce some of the redness from just normal running around throughout the day. I do like the feel on my skin. It doesn't leave it feeling tacky or sticky. It leaves it just very nice, refreshed, and it feels like it's sunk in really, really well. I've never put makeup on top of it, so this will be interesting to see how it works underneath my foundation. So what I've been doing lately with my foundation is I'm actually running out of the Lemare. I know it looks full right now, but I've been like shaking it. You are supposed to shake this foundation before using it, by the way. But if I don't shake it and I let it settle, I'm like down to the bottom. What I have been doing, I've been actually taking like a pump of this, but I've been mixing it. I've been completely in love with this Shiseido Synchro Skin Glow. It's luminous, it's glowy, it's very, very fluid. The only thing, I don't like using it by itself because it just doesn't have enough coverage for me. But if I mix it with Lemare, which has amazing coverage, then I get this glowy, liquidy goodness all over my skin. So I just blend the two together and put that all over, and then I just blend it. So I prefer the pushing method still, of pushing it into my skin instead of just rubbing it around. By doing it this way, a lot of product does not end up on my brush, and it really stays throughout the day on my skin. Alright, so that is just the foundation part. So you can see it kind of leaves that like glowy finish on my skin. Beautiful coverage and glow. Okay, then I'm going to go in with concealer. I've been using a lot of different concealers this year. All of the ones I've been using have been like awesome. I've been using Urban Decay, I've been using Too Faced, Becca, NARS, Lemare. I mean, I haven't found a loser. They've all done amazing on coverage. They conceal well, they don't crease, they stay solid throughout the whole day, so I am very impressed. And they kind of range. The reason I have them all is they all range from like a very light coverage to a very full coverage. So some of them, like Lemare, is a very full coverage, and I might use it for little spots on my face. But like this one, I consider very light to maybe a little bit medium of a coverage, and I like to use it like under my eyes or if I see any redness around my nose or chin. So this is typically how I'd put my concealer on. I just kind of do a couple dashes underneath my eyes, right around my nose, because that always turns red. And then a little bit on my chin, nose, and forehead. Kind of do that highlight and contrast. I do use a beauty blender. I love these things. And then I just kind of pounce it in. So that is all the concealer tapped in. You can already see how it's starting to create that look. You can see where my bronzer is going to go. Now, one thing that I have been changing up recently, which has really helped with my eyeshadow, is I've been using an eye base by Trish McEvoy. I used to just put concealer on my eyelids, and concealer is really meant to keep that area hydrated, But this is really meant to keep that area dry. So my eyelids get a little oily throughout the day, and this just keeps all of my eyeshadow exactly where it needs to be, and it lets the pigment really show through. So if you haven't used an eyeshadow base before and you're really frustrated with your eyeshadow, either the pigment isn't there or it just your eyeshadow just doesn't feel like it stays put all day, grab yourself an eye base. And I just put a little bit on the inside corners of my eye, and then I just spread it around with my finger or whatever brush happens to be laying around. I don't have a brush laying around, so I'm just gonna pat it in with my finger. Already, I'm loving this look better because now I don't see little veins on my eyelids or anything. Like, it's a fresh, clean palette in order to apply beautiful color. Next, I'm gonna go in with the translucent Lemare setting powder. Love this stuff. Did a video on it. And I just put it wherever I put concealer, just to kind of set that concealer in place. Done. At this point, I also like to take a nice little Lemare fluffy brush and just go over everything. There we go. Gets rid of any excess powder, excess streaks. I am not fancy when it comes to makeup. I have totally been relying on Charlotte Tilbury to make me look like I know what I'm doing when I'm putting on makeup. I have two of her palettes. These are Instant Look in a palette. This one is Beauty Glow, and I believe the other one I wore in the last video that you guys were asking about was called Seductive Beauty. It's got lots more like darker grays in it. This Beauty Glow palette is all like bronze and highlight and brown shadows. It's just what you feel like you would look like if you spent a week on the beach. It's lovely. It's all I was wearing this summer. So when it comes to the palettes, you just keep it really easy. You got the bronzer, you got the blush, you got the highlighter, and you have 3 eyeshadows to layer. So first thing I do is I go in with the bronzer. Kind of dig my brush in there, tap it off, and then just start swirling. When I got a makeup tutorial at MAC, they said the thing to keep in mind is 12s. So if you twirl your brush 12 times, it really blends it nicely into your skin, and you won't have any streaks, and it will look very, very blended. I also take it up on my forehead and then run it around the corner so it looks like I got a little sun. I also take it down my neck just to make sure it all looks even, because if you got sun on your face, you got some sun on your neck. And I know that this might sound crazy because nobody puts highlight on necks. It's usually like the last thing people put on. But I love using highlighter throughout the inner part of my eye. So I usually go in with the highlighter, and at this point I just throw it into the inner area of my eye, because it just has made such a world of difference in making my eye look really open and awake, and just adding that extra pop. And the reason I'm using this brush is because it's typically my highlight brush anyway. So just throw it on there. Little highlight. I also like to put a little highlight right on the cupid's bow too. Alright, next in the palette, keeping it going, is eyeshadow. So I am going to take the lightest eyeshadow and put that all over my eyelid. Then I'm going to go in with the medium shade. So I'm going to do it with my eye open right here on the brow bone, and that way that color really pops, as opposed to having my eye closed and putting it right in the crease. You can't really see it, it just creates a darker shadow, and I don't want to make my eye like deeper set. I just want to add that pop of color. See how easy that is? You just kind of let the brush kind of sit in the crease, and then you just rock it back and forth like a windshield wiper. There, step 1. Now if you're not into a lot of makeup, stop there. But I like to also go in with that darker shade right up at the top, and I like to put that right on the outside corner of my eye just by rubbing it in little circles. Over and over and over again, take it across. If you notice, I also take it a little bit lower than the other color I just added. So now it's adding that beautiful layer. But I'm leaving the inner corner alone because that's where I put that really pretty highlight. A little bump. Or else you can just leave it au naturel. Alright, so top eyelids are done, and now I have to work on that bottom lash line. So what I do is I take the medium and the dark color, kind of blend it together with a tinier brush, and then I just rub it on that bottom lash line. Kind of concentrate that pigment on that outside area and then bring it over. So you can kind of see it all coming together. So that is it with the palette. Palette's done. Next, I would go with eyeliner and mascara. So what I like to do is I like to tight line my eyes, which means that you would take the eye pencil and you actually go underneath your eyelid. Doesn't mess with the color that you just added. I'm using the Jouer Slim Creme Eyeliner in matte charcoal, and I'm going to tight line this eye, and then I'm also going to use my favorite mascara. This is by Chanel. This is their Le Volume in black. Absolutely love this mascara. It doesn't fade, it doesn't smear all over my eye, just the best. So I'm going to do it on one eye so that you can see the difference in my eyes. So this eye I tight lined and I threw the mascara on, and you can see why I just love that look. It doesn't take away from all the eyeshadow that I put on top of my eye, but it just kind of adds that little wow factor to my eye. And I really just love the complete look of doing my eyes like this. So I'm gonna do this one real quick. So both eyes are now done. Now with my eyebrows, I'm very just like back and forth with it. Sometimes I fill them in. If I'm doing a really dramatic eye, I do like to fill in my eyebrows, just kind of make them nice and clean. If I'm doing more of a bronze goddess look like this Charlotte Tilbury palette is, then I just kind of let my eyebrows go. So the only thing left to do is lips. Now lipstick I love. I think I'm like everyone out there and I have more lipstick than I will ever use. Since it's dry outside, I have been really loving this Patent Polish Lip Pencil by MAC. It's kind of like a hybrid of a chapstick and a lipstick, and it's very pigmented, right? Super bright. The colors Go for Girly. And then what I like to do is I like to add a little Huda Beauty Lip Strobe. This one is in Snobby, and I just love the way this one looks. Look at that, gorgeous, right? Whenever I'm thinking bronze, I don't know why, but I go for pink lip. I love it. So this is what I do to get ready to film. I will link all the products I use below so you guys know kind of what I'm going through to achieve the look. Again, I started off using the Origins Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer. Right now, I'm loving it. Like, I like the way my foundation is sitting on it. I like how my skin feels. Like, it doesn't feel itchy or dry. Like, it really is keeping it hydrated. My foundation is laying perfectly on top of it, so it's keeping it very flawless. I think for me, this is probably going to be a go-to for my post-gym workouts because I'm always really red and flushed after working out, and with the cooling effect and the tint, it's really going to drop down that redness for me. So I'm really loving this. It's awesome. So if you have been eyeballing it and wondering how it works, hopefully this video has helped with that as well. If you guys are interested in the other Charlotte Tilbury palette I have, the Seductive Beauty one, let me know. This was a lot of fun and I would be happy to do another one. And I think now it's time to film, right? You guys have an amazing week, and thank you again as always for watching. Bye.